Hello and welcome to Thought for November the 9th. Our readings are Ezra chapter 3 and 4, Hosea chapter 6 and Acts chapters 23 and 24. And our thought is, I always take pains to have a clear conscience toward both God and man. There is an oath in which people promise to say the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth in a court of law. The fullness of that wording is interesting as it tries to counter the common human tendency to bend the truth, sometimes to the extent that it becomes an outright lie. It has been said that half-truths are more dangerous than lies. We have examples of this in both the Old and New Testament readings today. In Ezra, we are reading of the struggles of the first contingency of Jews who returned from captivity to Jerusalem with the purpose of rebuilding the temple. Nebuchadnezzar, in destroying it, was so thorough that even the foundations were wrecked. The non-Jews who were transported to the area from Assyria, as Ezra 4 and verse 20 tells us, take offence when the Jews forbid their involvement in the work. The result is they try to stop the work. And when a new king comes on the Persian throne, they write a letter to him saying, "Be it known to the king that the Jews are rebuilding that rebellious and wicked city. If this city is rebuilt and the walls finished, they will not pay tribute, custom or toll, and the royal revenue will be impaired," we're told in verse 12 and 13. This, of course, was a total distortion of the facts, really a lie. It is astonishing how often money is made an issue, the most important factor in human decision-making. Now, in the New Testament, we read of the arrest of Paul in Jerusalem. And after Paul's arrest by the Romans in a riot the Jews provoked, they alleged before the Roman governor that Paul is one who stirs up riots among all the Jews throughout the world. He even tried to profane the temple, but we seized him. Acts 24 verses 5 and 6. Testimonies as to the true cause of a situation are so often biased through the prejudices of the one making the testimony. Paul refuted these claims, of course, in verses 12 and 13 and says, "I always take pains to have a clear conscience toward both God and man," verse 16. Do we always take pains to have a clear conscience? God knows whether we bend the truth. Do we have a clear conscience in the way we teach what God's word says? Paul tells Timothy in the last letter he wrote, "Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." 2 Timothy 2 verse 15. The most dangerous thing of all to bend is God's word of truth. Make sure that we're not guilty of that. Well, thank you once again for joining us for Thought for the Day, where together we can open up the pages of God's Word, knowing that Word to be a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.